Well, hello guys, welcome back. I had an experience this morning. I got up, I was extremely tired, and the gods were like, you have done so much emotionally this last couple of weeks, you're kind of a wreck, go back to bed. And you can start your day later. And I was like, sounds good to me, so I went back up to bed. I got a really petty dream from Apollo. An extremely petty dream from Apollo. I won't even go into the content either other than saying he was trying to humiliate me for the sexuality, my own sexuality and the sexuality of my gods, and the fact that I have so many phallic gods around me amongst the, Norse pantheon. And he was basically calling them like nasty, petty names with the events that unfolded. And he managed to insult Bragi and the circumstances of Bragi's, mother and father getting together. I don't think wisdom is one of Apollo's attributes, because you don't insult the All-Father, and you don't insult his children, not if you want to live a long and happy life. So I got up, and at first I was really rattled, and I was shaken up, and I told them what happened, and they were all beyond pissed, and I said, well, a dream can just be a dream, and they were like, no, this is Apollo being a little shit. So Apollo is going to get to deal with Bragi, because I went to Bragi since it was basically insulting me and saying, my real god of inspiration and music and everything was Bragi, and his father is a filthy, and his mother is a filthy, and his grandfather is a filthy, and you associate with filthy gods. When you can manage to make the UN ambassador of Norse gods pissed off, congratulations. He was like, what? And it was a really insulting dream. And I'm like, this is going to be fun. I will never know what happened, but I bet there will be these personal gnosis for people that, work with the Greek gods where there are limbs missing. And I'm like, yeah. And again, I didn't do it to cause trouble, guys. I did it because I was so shaken up and hysterical first. And then, they let Freyr come in, and Freyr's making me laugh about it. He's like, he's so petty. And, it's Apollo. Apollo, the one who all his lovers got turned into some kind of damn plant or tree. Apollo is the one judging others for their sexuality. No, Freyr is having none of that. Neither is Thor. And Thor's like, what did he do to my little sister again? And I told him, he's like, oh, okay. Having Bragi as your god is an insult. Is it some... It all turned out well for me. I have Bragi now. I hope I'm getting his name right. I have Bragi as a god. I have, the Norse gods are piled around me because they're like, oh no, he didn't. And if Apollo ever comes near me again, I think I'll just favorize him. That was some petty stuff. That was some amazingly petty and immature stuff, but Freyr's helping me find the humor in it, because Freyr's like, really, please? Really? He thought that was an insult? Please. So, yeah, I have no idea why the Greek gods are like that, because I thought they were actually cool from all their stories, but he is petty. He is nasty. He was basically saying I was like a broken instrument and dirty and imitation because of my gods. Way to go, gentlemen of Olympus. Indeed. So there you go. I have no idea. I seem to bring out the best and brightest of every god I interact with. But the one that was angriest, of course, was Loki. Loki will do a lot of messed up things, but something that crude and horrible he would not do. He was like, he did what? Loki can be a bastard, but not that kind of bastard. And Loki's like, yeah. We're having a talk, is what we're doing. Because we're going to have a talk about staying away from you. And we're going to have a talk about his opinions of sexuality. And you can imagine Loki having a talk with someone. And since I had to, go to the gods to get protected, Bragi will be protecting me now. And I read some personal gnosis about him. And I'm like, oh... Because I had forgotten some of the stuff about him, about his birth and everything. And, he literally has the meat inspiration in his veins and runes cut into his tongue. So the badass god of Norse poetry, who could probably kill you by looking at you, is going to be the one to deal with Apollo. After everyone else gets can imagine him running across the sky yelping Thor chasing him. But again, I didn't do it to cause trouble, guys. I didn't do it to be vindictive. I was truly scared and shaken up until Freyr helped me see the humor in it. Freyr's like, oh, he has a problem with sex, does he? Be a real pity if he could never do it again. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, whoa. So yeah, it's typical of certain groups of gods that when I was working with them, they were terrible. When I went away because they didn't want bother, they're being worse still. So it was an interesting morning, but at least the Norse gods helped me see the humor in it, and they helped me see that I'm not a victim here. I'm someone that he was dumb enough to mouth off to because he thought he'd mouth off to a little girl. Forgetting who my family was. And forgetting that the little girls in our family tend to run towards Freya in hell. So, and they're both poking their heads in like, what? What's going on? Are we having a fight? Are we going to war? War's fun. So, yeah. He picked the wrong family. So I'm actually having fun now and enjoying it. So we're going to make a celebration out today. We still have some ham that I cooked to honor Freyr returning. We'll cook that and maybe I'll go out and get some soda. It's a beautiful sunny day, thank the gods. So actually am enjoying this because he picked the wrong family to fight with. It's actually funny now. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.